Hi, this is Peter Womble, the UAS Program Coordinator and Assistant Professor for the Dual Enrollment Program here at Embry-Riddle. Today I'm going to walk you through something that's extremely fun to do, and it will actually teach you a lot too, and that is to build your own little mini racing drone. That's right, this guy right here, we're going to walk you through the steps, and you are going to have your own little mini racing drone that you can not only tell your students that you built, but show them how to build it in the future. And why not brag to some friends and family about it as well. This is a super easy kit to build, and I'm going to walk you through all the steps necessary to do so. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to do once you get your aircraft is to open up the box and see what you are working with. Let's go ahead and open that up. Here we are. We can see that everything is neatly packaged. We'll put this up to the side here, and we'll further go into the aircraft box here. So we pull out the top later. Down below is our remote controller and also our tablet or smartphone holder. We'll take that out and we'll slide that over here for now. And down below is our instructions. Now, mostly the instructions are in Chinese, so for the most part you will not need those for the video. But basically they just go through how to build, and as you can see there's a whole lot here. How to build and how to put this aircraft together. But hopefully with this video today you will not need to do that. However, keep these, hold on to these, because they are good to have. So the first step that we are going to want to do, and then we also have instructions here for how to use the app. We'll get into that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and slide that over and we'll dive further into the aircraft here. So as you see, when we open it, everything is right here in this little container here. Very easy, very simple to use, and it can be done just a few minutes. Really following this video shouldn't be more than about 15 minutes. On the top here we have our camera, which is awesome, all-in-one unit. It has its own antenna, which means it's transmitting separately from the aircraft itself. However, with this little plug-in here, we connect this to the aircraft's flight controller, and that allows it to be one system communicating on two different antennas. We'll get to more of that later. Next we have our aircraft frame. This frame is, pretty basic quadcopter design, nothing special, nothing too crazy there. So the first thing that we are going to do is actually take this frame, grab our flight controller board, which is right here, and we are going to simply put this directly on top of the aircraft frame. Now it's important to notice that we have the little RFID, or excuse me, not RFID, but infrared scanner that we will be using here, and that is for one of the modes we can fly in, and we want that to stick into that small notch here on the side. So all we're going to do is put that down and into it, and try and make it line up as best as possible. So we'll just simply slide that in like so. Might take a little bit of doing here, might be bent like this one is a little bit, and once we have that on there, we'll go ahead and move on to the next step, and that's going to simply be to place the motors in the sockets. Now looking at the bottom of the board, we can see we have a white and a red plug-in. Again, we have a red and a white plug-in. We'll put this down right here, and we will take a look at the 4 motors that it comes with, and we'll see that we indeed still have a red plug-in and a white plug-in. So as you can imagine, red goes to red, white goes to white. Let's start with the red motor. Go ahead and we'll pick up the aircraft. We'll find one of the sides that a red needs to go in, here and here, and it simply just slides in. Make sure that you slide the wires into the slit provided and just push it down nice and slow and softly. Wrap the red wire underneath, and we'll come to the bottom. You'll see that there's a little hook here to hold the wires in place, so we want to kind of just snug it in there so it doesn't come off during flight. Awesome. And we will take that red wire and simply plug it into the red plug here. If you have a pair of tweezers, you can use those, or you can just simply use your hands. and it snaps in like so. You might have to wrap these cords back underneath a couple of times. It's not perfect, but it works. So go ahead, there's one motor in, just like so, nice and easy, and we'll move on to the next. Let's go. Alright, now we have all four motors in. We can see we have the white motors in the white plugs and the red motors in the red plugs. Now make sure they're all in there snugly and they're not popping out because this again is going to control the speed of the motor and it's going to send the electrical current, so we want to make sure that it's in there nice and tight. Alright, let's take a look at the top of the motor. Now we have these in. This wire that's coming off, this is actually what is going to be communicating with our remote controller. So this is our telemetry that's going to be going back and forth. As you can see, it's just a simple small wire, but it'll give us some pretty good range. Once we have that done, the only next step is to go ahead and place the top of the aircraft on the aircraft itself. So we'll make sure that we line up the slit that encompasses the plug-in for the battery, just like so, and it just snaps into place very easily. You'll hear it snap in perfectly like that, and you'll see that it's lined up rather well. And just go around the edges and make sure it's in. We'll notice that we have a light that's going to represent the front of the aircraft, and we have the plug-in for the battery, which is going to represent the back of the aircraft. After we do that, the next thing we need to do is go ahead and slide the camera onto the top of that. Super easy. All we do is just plug that in like so, and we'll see that we have some extra wire there, so we want to go ahead and feed that inside into the camera. And then the camera has these little snaps on it that you can see, and we'll go ahead and we'll snap those in like so, again until we hear a small click. Again, it might take a little bit of doing, but it'll snap in just like so, and there we are. We essentially have the entire aircraft assembled. Now it is important that we put the propellers on, and we want to do that correctly. So to do that correctly, that is simply going to require us to, let's go ahead and move this over here, find the propellers that say A and B. So we can either look at the leading edge of the propeller, so we can see that this upward edge is going to be the leading edge, and that's going to be an A propeller. So we want to put an A on the red motors. So we put a A in an A, and all we do to do that is they just push on. So go ahead and slide them on the top of the motor like so, and push them down until they're nice and snug. And again, we'll go around, and we want to make sure that we use A propellers. Here's a B propeller, so we're going to put a B on the white cords like so. We'll just slide that on till it's nice and snug. Now these two propellers should match up if we did everything correctly with their leading edge. Looks good to me, and these two propellers should match up. We did everything correctly. Looks good to me. Alright, now on to the final step. We are going to get the battery connected and ready to go. Alright, now that we have the aircraft set up, we are going to remove the battery here. This is going to be the battery charger. We can pop off the top right there, and then here is going to be the actual battery itself. Now we're going to take this and plug this directly into here like so, and it will have a red light. As soon as the red light turns off, then the battery will be completely charged. And you can go ahead and plug that USB into any USB brick that you have. If you have something like this for an iPhone, that will work perfectly. If you have something slightly different,
no problem, that will work as well. So you want to plug this in before you plug it into the battery, so go ahead, slide this in, and then you will plug the battery in like so. And as soon as the red light on here shuts off, that means the battery will be completely charged. Now here's your remote controller. It's a really simple process to get it up and running. We're just going to take it, we'll flip it over, and we'll take that small screwdriver that they provided you with, and we'll go ahead and we will unscrew this little screw on the back here. Don't lose it. Just put it off to the side. We'll put it back on in a second, and we'll undo the clip. Pop it open, and it will need 3 AAA batteries. So they simply go like so. Oops. 1, 2, and 3. You'll hear it probably turn on. Go ahead and make sure the controller's off. Flip back over, and we will go ahead and put back on the top here and the little screw just for safety. The redundancy so the batteries don't fall out while we are flying the aircraft. So we'll go ahead and tighten that up. Doesn't need to be super tight, just so that it doesn't pop open. Alright, good. Once we have that done, we'll come to the side of the controller here and we'll pop off this little eject panel. And we can take that and we'll just get rid of that because we won't need it anymore. And we'll take the phone/tablet connector, and it just slides in there, just replacing the point that was just in there, and it clips in. You'll see it clips in on the back here like so. And you are good to go. You will put your phone in there as soon as you get this all set up and ready. Alright, let's talk about the basic layout of the remote controller here. On the left side we have 2 triggers, and the left side of the trigger will control the speed of the aircraft, and it will also control if you want to take a picture or video. So if you press the speed of the aircraft once, it will put in 30%, press it again 60%, and press it for a 3rd time and you will be 100% power control. We recommend flying at 30%. And with the camera button, you press it once and it will take a picture, long press, hold it down for a little bit, and it will in fact take a video. The left stick is going to operate just like you would imagine it would in standard mode 2. If you force the throttle up, it will have the aircraft rise, down will have the aircraft descend, and to the left and to the right will control the aircraft's yaw. Below that we have a keypad with 4 buttons. The top Y button will put the aircraft into something called headless mode, which means if you are pushing the other control stick away from you, the aircraft will always go away from you. If you're pushing the control stick towards you, it'll always come towards you regardless of the orientation. We will try not to fly in that road. Over here, the X button will control the light on the aircraft, so the little light on the front of the aircraft, if you press that, it'll turn it on and off. A is a very important button. That's the down button here, and that will control the aircraft, and it is the emergency stop button. That means if you press that, the motors are going to stop regardless if it's in the air or if it's on the ground. Wherever it is, you press the downward button and the motors will stop. And the B button. It has 3 different operations. You press it once when the aircraft is connected and will arm the motors, which means they will start spinning. You press it while the motors are armed and it will take off the aircraft automatically. And if you press it while the aircraft is in the air, it will land the aircraft as slow and as best to its ability. Moving over to the right side, we'll start at the top. VS is to put the aircraft in what they call battle mode. You will need 2 aircraft for this. We won't touch on that too much today. Next to that is a 360 button. If you press that now, whenever you push the pitch stick in any direction, the aircraft will do a flip in that direction. Below, the right stick will often operate just as you would imagine. If you move it forward, the aircraft will go forward, backward, the aircraft will go backward, and to the left or to the right, and the aircraft will go to the left or the right. And below that is another keypad that is going to control the trim of the aircraft. In the center, we forgot to mention, this is the power on and power off button. Now it's time to download the app. Go to the App Store and hit the search bar. There, type in Racing FPV. You gotta spell it right the first time. And once you search for it, it will most likely be the first one there. Go ahead and hit open or download. I already have it downloaded, so I just need to hit open. Now that we have the app downloaded, we need to connect to it via Wi-Fi. So open your Wi-Fi settings and select the aircraft. Once it has connected, go ahead and navigate back over to the Racing FPV app. This is the home screen, and we're going to click play down here in the bottom right hand corner. And now we should be connected. We should get a live feed from the drone, and let's go ahead and talk about our settings and all the fun stuff up at the top. So if we look at the little arrow, that is going to bring us back to the main screen. Adjacent to that, we have a take a photo option. Next to that, we have record video. Number 4, we have photo and video. If we press on that, we'll be able to go into the app and watch and look at the photos and videos we have taken. Next to that, we have our speed control. So if we want to operate at 30, 60, or 100%. Adjacent to that, we have a height limit, so we can fly the aircraft to the height limit, set that in, and that will make the aircraft stay below that altitude. It's pretty cool. Next to that, we have a gravity sensor. It's good to have that on, but basically that's just going to help your aircraft operate a little more smoothly and allow your camera to stay stable if you fly your aircraft upside down. We have next to that the show and hide control interfaces. Basically, if you wanted to fly the aircraft from your smartphone, you could, but we have a remote, so we don't need to do that. And we have the off mode, which will represent basically showing the interfaces again. And we have our settings mode, and we click on that, a bunch will pop up. We can reverse the image. We can move the camera into VR mode if we wanted to put our phones into a VR headset and fly the aircraft that way. That is an option. Our headless mode, which again is also available on the remote controller. And finally, the gyroscope correction, which will allow the aircraft to help balance itself a little bit better.
Let's go ahead and run through the entire process here. Go ahead and take your battery, and you're going to want to slide it in. Make sure the tab side is facing out so that you can pull it out after the flight. Make sure it's in there tightly and it's not going to fall out as soon as we take off. Go ahead and we will put the battery cable directly into the aircraft. Plug it in. When the lights start flashing, that means our aircraft is ready to bind. We'll set that down. Come over to our controller and we'll turn on our controller. The aircraft is on and both are blinking. We want to bring this left stick to the top and to the bottom, and that will bind the aircraft. The aircraft and the remote controller are now bound. Let's go ahead and we will bind the remote or the camera with the smartphone. So we want to find this Wi-Fi here. Once we have the Wi-Fi, we can go ahead and we'll switch back to our live view. And there we have it there. Awesome. So our camera is bound and now our remote is also bound. How do we fly this thing? Let's check it out.